And first up, let's get you the latest numbers that have come out from the government on the coronavirus cases. The total cases in the country now stands at 28,380. Unfortunately, the death toll also has risen to 886. We're also breaking down the state-wise data for you. Maharashtra remains the state that's worst affected by COVID-19, with the total cases soaring to 8,068 and 342 deaths being reported so far. In Gujarat, the number of cases stands at 3,301 with 151 deaths. Over to the national capital, where the number of cases is inching towards the 3,000 mark with 2,918 cases so far and 54 deaths. Those are the latest numbers that we have for you as of 6:30 this morning. Here's also a roundup of the top 5 developments that you need to know on the coronavirus crisis. Delhi has reported 190 new cases of coronavirus in the last 24 hours. The total number of cases are now inching towards the 3,000 mark. No new recoveries or deaths have been reported yesterday. Southwest Delhi's DM is currently in isolation after his personal secretary tested positive for the virus yesterday. Everyone who came in contact with the patient has now been isolated. A Supreme Court employee has tested positive for coronavirus, following which 2 registrars of the Apex Court have been put in home quarantine. Officials have now begun contact tracing of all those who came in contact with the infected. The infected employee had come to court twice last week. Telangana now has reported 21 districts as coronavirus free. Yesterday, the state reported in fact 2 new COVID-19 cases, both from Hyderabad. Telangana's total coronavirus cases now stand at 1,003. Yesterday, Chief Minister KCR held a high-level review meeting on district-wise coronavirus outbreaks, the treatment and assistance programs for patients. "68 people who were suspected to have come in contact with coronavirus positive patients in Karnataka's Ramnagar jail have tested negative. These 68 include a group of police, municipal officials and others. About 5 people who were held for attacking civic officials in Bengaluru tested positive at Ramnagar jail. Those who came in contact with them have been quarantined. And Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that the state government has launched widespread COVID-19 tests amongst the high-risk groups. This includes health workers, migrant labourers, police officials and others who are coming in direct contact with the public. A total of 875 samples from high-risk contacts have been sent for tests till now, of which 611 have returned negative. Just 5 days to go for Lockdown 2.0 to come to an end, and all eyes are on how states really plan on relaxing curbs in 3 zones. That's the red, orange and green zones after May 3rd. 4 states had advocated for a lockdown extension during the meet with Prime Minister yesterday. The worst hit state, Maharashtra, battled, of course, for a full lockdown and extension in hotspots, and also requested the centre to provide more food grains. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Friday suggested to go with a partial lockdown and told the Prime Minister to bar flights, interstate buses and long route trains post May 3rd. States like Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Puducherry, Jharkhand, Punjab asked for immediate central assistance to combat COVID-19. Karnataka urged the Prime Minister to maintain status quo, citing the current situation. Delhi at this point is yet to formulate a comprehensive plan after May 3rd.
A week to go for Lockdown 2.0 to end. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a meeting with chief ministers to decide on an exit strategy. At the end of the marathon meeting, one thing became clear: the lockdown could continue in COVID red zones, but with more relaxation in other areas. Sources have told India Today the Prime Minister has asked the chief minister to decide on lifting the curbs based on red, orange and green zones in their states. Prime Minister also told the chief ministers to prepare a detailed plan on how to ensure a phased exit from the lockdown. 9 chief ministers spoke during the meeting, addressing several concerns in the COVID fight. 4 chief ministers, including Naveen Patnaik, were in favour of extending the lockdown. The Odisha Chief Minister wants a lockdown to be extended by at least another month.
आमचे म्हणणे आसा की लॉकडावन एक्सटेंड करचो म्हटल्यार इकॉनॉमिकल हे जे आसा एक्टिविटीज जे आसा विदीन द स्टेट इट शूड कंटिन्यू बॉर्डर सील उरच्यो देयर इज नो ट्रेन नो प्लेन नो पब्लिक
अभी दिल्ली को लेकर जो तस्वीर दिखाई दे रही है वो 3 मई के बाद मतलब 3 मई करीब आने पे ही तय होगा और 2-3 दिन बाद सारे स्थितियों का आकलन करते रह के तय कर पाएंगे.
Several chief ministers demanded funds from the centre.
The government of India should give us an economic package. We are giving rise to the families also. Therefore, the government of Puducherry has to be financially helped by the government of India.
The Prime Minister assured the chief ministers the economy is in good shape. He seemed to suggest a two-pronged approach. Continue the fight against the virus while giving importance to the economy.
The lockdown is all set to be extended for the second time. But this time around, the states will be driving it. And they will be deciding where to ease the restrictions and where to keep the containment extremely strict. With Bureau Inputs, Rahul Srivastava for India Today.
Remember, the state of Karnataka has said that they want things to remain as they are post May 3rd, which means that they want the lockdown as the current situation is post May 3rd as well. Rajdeep Sardesai spoke to Karnataka Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar on exactly what the state's plan is after May 3rd.
I'm told the overwhelming view in that meeting, Dr. Sudhakar, was to extend the lockdown. But a lockdown without an exit plan, Dr. Sudhakar, is a bad idea. Does anyone in Karnataka have an exit plan on how to relax the lockdown restrictions?
Absolutely, Rajiv, you're right that lockdown cannot be a permanent solution for facing this coronavirus. So this is the view of our government as well, and today the Honorable Prime Minister held a video conference of all the chief ministers, where I was also part of Karnataka team along with our Honorable Chief Minister. So he was telling in the video conferencing that the whole idea to go forward is to ensure the life and the livelihood should be planned properly, and especially on the daily wage workers, the construction workers, agrarian sector, the marginal people should definitely ensure that their livelihood is not affected.
Sir, those are all...
At the same...
So how? My point, Dr. Sudhakar, is how? How are you going to balance lives and livelihoods? You need a clear strategy. How are you going to operate between these red, green and orange zones? The moment if you don't allow free movement of goods and services, how are you going to save livelihoods? How are you going to revive economy? Where's the strategy?
See, in red zones, we have what is called as a containment zones. Because the red zones cannot be the entire district. Because in the entire district, for example, there could be one taluk, or in one taluk headquarters, it will be 1 or 2 wards. So we can have a buffer zone of another 3-4 wards attached to the red zones. We need to seal this down. And apart from this, we can release slowly the other areas of the district. But as of now, the plan is we are going to allow the agrarian sector, the rural industries, the shops and all other commercial activities in the green zone only.
Now, with the 40-day-long nationwide lockdown nearing its completion, there's also a full-blown political slugfest that's erupted. The central government has said that the Congress-ruled Rajasthan government is not disbursing more than 700 crore rupees meant for subsidy for farmers in the state. The Rajasthan government has, however, dismissed this accusation from the BJP. While the Haryana Health Minister Anil Vij said that many who work in Delhi and stay in the state are corona carriers, a statement which hasn't gone down well with the Delhi government. The sharpest attack came from West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who accused the centre of making contradictory statements about the enforcement of the lockdown and sought greater clarity on the MHA order, which sought for reopening of shops. She said that the states were only getting sermons and no assistance.
শুধু রেশনের ভাষণে তো হবে না, ভাষণের সাথে তো মানুষের জন্য রেশনও দরকার। রেশন মানে শুধু রেশনে 2 কেজি চাল দেওয়া নয়, রেশন মানে মানুষের নিত্য প্রয়োজনীয় অন্যান্য আনুষঙ্গিক, এই যে বলছেন পেনশন, এই যে স্যালারি কোত্থেকে আসবে? টাকাটা না দিলে রেভিনিউ তো সব বন্ধ। অনলি বার্নিং, নো আর্নিং। বার্নিং এর জায়গাগুলো, টোটাল আর্নিং এর জায়গাগুলো বন্ধ করে দিয়েছে। তো আমি চালাবো কোত্থেকে? অন্য রাজ্যগুলি বা চালাবে কোত্থেকে? আজকে হেলথে কোভিড সামলাতে যে খরচা হচ্ছে আমাদের, তাও তো কিচ্ছু দেয়নি। এত কোয়ারেন্টাইন সেন্টার, এত কোটি কোটি টাকা দিয়ে খরচা করে ইকুইপমেন্টস, এমনকি পাবলিক পিপিই থেকে শুরু করে অনেকে বলছে এটা পাইনি ওটা পাইনি। ভাই সাধ্যমতো চেষ্টা করেছি, গরিবের সংসার, হয়তো অনেক কিছু দিতে পারিনি, তার মধ্যে যতটা পেরেছি। এর মধ্যেই তো নতুন করে প্রায় 5 লক্ষের মতো আমরা পিপিই দিয়েছি। मास्क আমরা প্রায় 8-10 লাখ অলরেডি দিয়েছি 3-4 মিলিয়ে।
बहुत सारे लोग जो दिल्ली में नौकरी करते हैं और रहते हरियाणा में हैं, वो रोजाना पास बनाकर वहां से आ रहे हैं और वो कोरोना कैरियर बने हुए हैं। हमारे सोनीपत में लगभग 9 केस ऐसे आए हैं जिनको दिल्ली से संक्रमण हुआ।
हरियाणा जो बॉर्डर पे सोनीपत हैं या गुड़गांव हैं, जो बिल्कुल बॉर्डर पे लोग रहते हैं, तो एनसीआर में जैसे लोग आते जाते हैं काफ़ी, बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे दिल्ली में काम करते हैं, वहाँ रहते हैं, जो यहाँ पे रहते हैं वहाँ पे काम करते हैं। तो 22 वर्षा है, और ऐसा कभी भी नहीं माना गया कि भाई जो दिल्ली से थोड़ा बाहर रहता है कि वो दिल्ली में काम नहीं कर सकता। सबको पता है कि भाई काम दिल्ली में करते हैं। ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे दिल्ली से बाहर गुड़गांव में काम करते हैं, रहते दिल्ली में, तो ये भी हो सकता है कि वहाँ पे आप काम करने गए इसलिए। तो वो रहने वाले तो वहीं के हैं ना, रहे तो वहीं से रहे हैं, तो सिर्फ दिल्ली काम करने आते हैं।
Maharashtra and Gujarat are the worst affected states due to coronavirus. They account, unfortunately, for almost 50% of all confirmed cases in the country. 522 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours in Maharashtra, taking the total number of cases in the state to over 8,000. 27 fresh deaths were reported, of which 15 were in Mumbai alone. Mumbai, the worst affected city in India, has over 5,700 cases. Over 1,45,000 people are currently in home quarantine. There are about 805 containment zones in the state. Let's also get you the updates from Gujarat, which has reported 247 new COVID-19 infections and 11 deaths in the last 24 hours. Ahmedabad is the largest cluster in the state with over 2,300 cases and 109 deaths. Gujarat continues to remain the second worst hit state in India with over 3,300 confirmed cases of COVID-19. Now, after the Gujarat Principal Health Secretary claimed that the high death rate in the state of Gujarat is linked to an aggressive COVID L strain, the World Health Organization has dismissed this theory. When India today approached the WHO, the UN Health Agency said that there is no proof of L-type strain causing more COVID-19 deaths. The WHO technical head, Maria Van Kerkhove, stated that there is no evidence to suggest that the virus behaves differently to cause different levels of severity. This as mortality rate of the states registering maximum deaths in Ahmedabad and Indore is much higher than the rest of the country. Till now, Ahmedabad has recorded 104 deaths and Indore has 60 deaths. While healthcare experts in Gujarat have claimed that the L strain is more dangerous than the S strain of the virus, Madhya Pradesh has sent samples to the NIV, that's the National Institute of Virology in Pune, for the investigation into the matter.
हमारे यहाँ जो डिस्चार्ज होने की संख्या और जिसकी गति है थोड़ी कम है, और वैसे मृत्यु जो कोविड की चिकित्सा दरमियान जो मृत्यु होते हैं उनकी भी संख्या थोड़ी ज़्यादा है। तो इसकी जब हमने तज्ञों और जो निष्णात लोग हैं, डॉक्टर्स, उनसे चर्चा की तो बताया गया है कि 2 प्रकार के इस वायरस के स्ट्रेन हैं। एक एस स्ट्रेन जो उतना घातक नहीं है, और दूसरा है एक एल स्ट्रेन जिसकी ज़्यादा एक विरुलेंट, जिसकी असर ज़्यादा होती है। तो इसकी भी एक अनुसंधान रिसर्च हमारे साइंटिस्ट कर रहे हैं, और माना जा रहा है कि शायद इस स्ट्रेन गुजरात में है, इस वजह से ये थोड़ा इस तरह से मृत्यु के अंक भी बढ़ रहे हैं.
There are more than 10,000 full genome sequences available. I don't even have the last count, but at least 10,000 full genome sequences that are available. And we're looking at the changes in the virus to see if any of those changes mean that the virus has mutated and that it changes in terms of its transmissibility or its ability to infect people or its ability to cause severe disease. And so far, this virus is relatively stable. There are changes in the virus which are expected in RNA viruses, but these changes are within the expected range, and there aren't any differences in the viruses that have been found in different countries that suggest that it behaves differently in terms of its ability to transmit or its ability to cause severe disease in people.
And in a bid to boost the MSME sector that has been severely hit due to the ongoing lockdown, sources have told India Today that the centre is actually working on a proposal that could guarantee almost 3 lakh crore loans to the lockdown-hit MSME sector. The government has proposed to provide guarantee for 75 to 100% loan to MSMEs through the existing credit guarantee trust. The existing credit guarantee trust already has 10,000 crores in its kitty. If formulated, this deal will ease lending to MSMEs and will make lending also safer. This comes just after several states, including Tamil Nadu, requested aid from the centre to infuse liquidity into MSMEs. Well, in India, much like the rest of the world, big-ticket events in cricket and other sports events have all been postponed indefinitely or cancelled. Here's the report.
Of course, Dhoni. Of course.
The much-awaited annual summer cricket event, the Indian Premier League, has been suspended indefinitely. The IPL was scheduled to start on March 29th, but due to the outbreak of coronavirus, it had to be suspended till April 15th. With the entire country in an extended lockdown, in a bid to curb the spread of the coronavirus, and with all travel grounded, the BCCI was left with little option but to take the call.
Safety is most important in the current situation. With what's going around in the world and in India with the government directives, this is all we can do. We'll even postpone the remaining domestic matches.
But the BCCI has still not thrown in the towel on the cash-rich event. The board says that it will continue to monitor the situation regarding a potential start of the IPL later this year, but that will depend on when the fight against COVID-19 is over.
Amid all these postponements and cancellations, the IPL may possibly be looking at a window during September-October when the subcontinent nations are scheduled to play the Asia Cup, while another window of opportunity could be October-November, but that would mean that T20 World Cup is not going to happen, at least this year.
But there might be a ray of hope for cricket fans. Another big-ticket cricket event that many feared would be pushed back was the upcoming India tour of Australia. But sources from Down Under suggest the tournament might take place.
Sources in the Australian cricket establishment tell me that Cricket Australia has made a special request to the Prime Minister Scott Morrison and have also received a favourable response. They have asked for special exemptions be made for the India tour of Australia later on in the year. They have said that Cricket Australia stands to lose $350 to $400 million if the tour is cancelled overall, and that will perhaps bring Cricket Australia activities to a standstill. And the Prime Minister has been receptive. So even if the tour is played in empty stadiums, which is the most likely possibility, because of broadcast rights and sale of broadcast rights, Cricket Australia stands to make $300 million. That will save the Australian cricket establishment, is what I'm getting from Cricket Australia sources.
Cricket isn't the only sports to have suffered. The All India Tennis Association has announced the cancellation of all domestic tennis tournaments for the next 2 months due to coronavirus outbreak. The All India Football Federation suspended tournaments at all levels till further notice. These include I-League football matches. In badminton, with the World Federation suspending all tournaments, big-ticket events like the India Open scheduled for late March were cancelled. A day before the Indian athletics season was to begin in Punjab, the Indian Grand Prix was called off. With events being postponed indefinitely, the question is, what will be the long-term impact of the virus pandemic on the world of sports?
She's done it.
Will contact sports, where social distancing is not really an option, be put on hold? Will domestic sports persons take a financial hit? And how long before fans rush back to the stadiums?
Celebration of the night, without a doubt.
With that, we're slipping into a short break here on India Today. For all the latest news and updates on coronavirus, you can log on to our website indiatoday.in. Do also download the India Today app and stay home, stay safe.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.